to all, and to all a grand evening. Lakeisha-mcknight is here. Just want to welcome everybody to the Leadership TKO Live Night Show. I am, of course, your leadership specialist and your wealth mentor. Welcome to Leadership TKO Live, the night show, via video as well as podcast, audio podcast. And so welcome everybody, welcome aboard to the show here on tonight. It's about 9:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here in Chesapeake, Virginia. And hopefully you all can hear me. You can see me very well. And so we're about to dive into some specifics tonight, okay, to some specifics, but yet I will try to make it as simple as possible based on my perspective. So welcome to the show, everyone. We do this show every single night around 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the purpose of empowering leaders like yourself with the ability to win from the inside out, growing your influence, your impact, and your income. That is the focus of the show. So once again, just to remind you, helping you to grow your influence, your impact, and your income. That is the goal here. That is what we're trying to accomplish. And so welcome aboard. So many of you, you see the topic matter tonight. We're talking about network marketing simplified. I'm going to give it to you based on my perspective, my experience, okay, being a part of this model of business. Now, you might be asking, well, Lakeisha, how long have you been somewhat connected to this model of business? And I would actually have to tell you, ever since 2000, get this, 2001. If I was to be exact, about 2001. And I remember the company. I'm not going to mention any names or what the name of the company was. It starts with an A, has 3 initials. Many of you probably know, right? And so I was involved in the telecommunications space. And that's where I was at that particular time. And it was definitely a grand experience. I've learned many, many lessons being a part of that particular company, made a lot of mistakes. Okay. And that's really what, being involved and being connected to different companies would enable you to accomplish. It's very important that you grab the lessons. Whenever you're involved in something, grab those essential lessons. And so I value being a part of this particular industry because I've learned the key differences between the network marketing model of business as well as the traditional business, because I've been raised, or at least a part of the business sector, and really a part of a family that's involved in that to some degree, whether it was ministry-wise, because ministry is a business. It is essentially a business, okay? And then also the other side of it is my father and many other relatives were a part of, having a mechanic business. So they fix cars. So they fixed them up, they sold them, and that's what his occupation was, and many of my other relatives. And so I'm familiar with the traditional side as far as having a brick and mortar, fixing up cars, selling them, right? And then I'm also familiar with the network marketing side of things as well. And I have to honestly tell you, okay, there are some stark differences. Some would say that there are some grand businesses in one type versus the other, and I have to agree with that. But what I've come to understand, and I'm in agreement with Robert Kiyosaki, because he calls it the business of the 21st century, and that is the network marketing model of business. It just allows for so much more growth, okay? And allows you to be able to become a business owner and do it with less expenses. So I would have to tell you right now, we're going to zero in on the network marketing model of business, and we're going to try to simplify that tonight. And so network marketing, how can we think about this concept? We can break it down, and I want to really compare it to what I would like to call solo marketing or personal marketing. Many of us, even yourself, might be a part of that solo or that personal marketing. Now, solo or personal marketing has a lot to do with marketing yourself, right? Marketing and promoting yourself. Now, I say this because you don't see it as this, but that's exactly what it is. When you're out there, you're gathering up that resume, right? You're putting all those pieces on that piece of paper, the education point, your skill sets, right? Your education, I might have mentioned that already, right? Any type of honors you might have received, all of that stuff. You're trying to list that on that resume, that paper, okay? And why are you doing this? Why are you putting down those essentials? Why did you list your objective on that resume? You're doing this because you're trying to encourage the owner of another company to consider you as a potential asset for that company. That's what you're doing. In other words, you are promoting and selling yourself. And I'm going to break down those concepts in just a moment. But that's exactly what you're doing. That's personal or solo marketing, where it's just you, right? You're marketing and you're selling yourself so that you can allow the employer, the CEO, to see you as an asset to their company to help them build their wealth. That's what you're doing. You're exchanging, of course, the hours, the essential, most important hours and days of your life, and you're selling it to another organization. That's what happens when you're engaging in personal marketing or solo marketing. But let's think about this concept of network marketing, because this is exactly how it sounds. You are essentially marketing, you're building a network and you're marketing a product or a service. And you're building a network from that. And as the network grows, you're able to reach more and more people. You're leveraging the efforts of a network. So instead of just you yourself exchanging hours of your time for dollars, you're leveraging the efforts of someone else you shared some information with. And now they're going out and doing the same exact thing. They're duplicating the same process that you engaged in. Almost like a domino effect, where one person knocks, one domino is knocked down, it knocks down another domino. You're doing the same thing. It's like this big sphere of influence where it spreads like leaven, right? In a positive sense. And so you're able to reach more and more people. So for example, while I'm sleeping, a business partner in Australia or a business partner in Spain can be sharing the same information, and I'm sleeping. And the organization, my network that I started with just me, sharing it with someone else, okay, and I'm going to go into that in a bit more detail, but with me, sharing it with someone else, getting another partner per se, right, and sharing the same exact information I was given, and they go out and do the very same thing. So it's like a big web of partners, and we're sharing the same information. That's network marketing. And that is the large portion. This is the bigger picture that I want you to see, that it's a huge amount of effort that's leveraged. Leverage. The power of leverage. There's but so much that you can do, but there's a whole lot that we can do together. And so let me share with you a couple of concepts that I wrote down here. And when you think about marketing, I want you to think about it in the sense of two specific subpoints: promotion and selling. So you're promoting and you're selling. And what are you promoting and selling when you're marketing in this example of network marketing? What are you doing? You're promoting or you're selling a product or a service. So let's even break that down a bit more. Let's think about this in terms of promoting. What does that mean? See, when you're promoting something, it's activity, and I wrote down my little notes, it's activity that supports active encouragement for the continuance of a cause or an aim. Okay, so it's activity that supports active encouragement for the continuance of. So for example, I have to make it relative to me and perhaps a few others. Whatever company you are a part of, if you are a part of the network marketing model of business and you are an independent representative or an affiliate, what happens is you need to engage in the activity that supports the encouragement of the furtherance of a cause. So what you think about that cause, and it has to be something that you can totally support and totally back up, because there's going to be rough times, there's going to be difficult moments. So can you support a cause as it grows? Because it has its own phases, right? That it has to go through, it has to mature. And so as it goes through this phase, these different phases, can you continue to support the furtherance of that particular venture or that cause? And I love, of course, the mission statement, a part of the team within the network marketing model of business that I'm connected to. I'm actually a part of an e-commerce company that has a networking component to it. So I'm not necessarily promoting a network marketing opportunity, but it has a networking component to it. And so what I want you to understand is that even within the cause that I'm promoting, I truly support it. I truly back it because it's something that's relative and that everyone needs to be connected to because it involves money, right? And you need money to be able to obtain products and services and to be able to fulfill your goals and your dreams in life. And so again, believing the cause that you are connected to is essential because you have to promote it. You have to engage in that activity to further that cause. Now that's promoting. How about selling? Let's think about selling. I know when I first got started with this, I was like, man, I don't feel like going out there and selling a product. I felt like, it was a huge burden at the very beginning. I have to be honest. But as I continued in the industry, as I continued to practice and put the skills in motion, put the activity in motion, right? I began to realize a few things that it really isn't as hard as we think it is. Because if you can sell yourself to an organization, right? If you can list down all your skills and all of your education and all of your honors, if you can take the time to do all that and go to various companies and put your resume or whatever it may be out there to try to be connected to another organization, you can engage in the same activity to further a cause that will benefit you for a lifetime and build wealth for your home and your family. And so that's the power, for example, of this network marketing model and having that networking component to the business that you're connected to. So selling, a definition that Google may even have is, persuading someone of the merits of a service or a product. So persuading someone of the merits, the benefits of a product or a service. That's what Google says. I like to think about selling as in the sense of an educated recommendation. A simple recommendation based on the sharing of information. All right? It's just a simple recommendation. That's it. Because you're actually sharing with them the merits, the benefits of something. They're gathering that information, whether it's from a third-party tool, whether it's from a live event, when they go to a live event and they gather that information. But you're simply sharing information. That's simply it. And I love what my coaches and my mentors, of course, have poured into my life, that the main thing when it comes to sharing this information and trying to grow your network is understanding that when you're sharing this, you're simply seeing who's qualified and who's not qualified. And if they say no, guess what happens when you're sharing the information? That just simply means they're not qualified. They're not qualified to work with you. They're not qualified to take ownership of that cause, of that aim. They disqualify themselves. And so it's okay. What you simply are doing is you're finding those, right? You're easily weeding out and not necessarily devoting a lot of your energy to the time of those who are disqualified, but you're rather connecting and building that large network with those who can support the cause, who can support the aim, who can further the activity, right, to continue that cause throughout the world. And so that's what you're doing here with network marketing and with engaging in this model of business. You're furthering a cause. But you have to ask yourself first and foremost, before connecting with a company, can you support the cause? Because while people are motivated by money, you cannot allow that to be the sole motivation. Because it has to come from here. It has to come from your heart. Because you have to be able to do this when you don't see the growth on the outside. Because remember, anything that grows, guess what happens? It grows underneath first. Think about it in terms of a plant. I shared this before. As you're sharing the information with other people, here's what happened. This is the earth. Think about this as the earth, right? When you're thinking about your business, this is the earth. Growth happens underneath first, right? It happens here first. And then you begin to slowly see the roots and the plants come out, right? You see the branches and you see the leaves, you see all these things coming out a little bit later, but growth happens within first. And then it begins to manifest on the outside where people can see it. That's why a lot of times when you see a lot of people who are successful in this industry, you don't know exactly what they've gone through. You didn't know what they had to endure to be able to see those grand benefits, to see all the success that you may see manifest on the outside. But they took a lot of work. They engaged in a lot of self-growth first in order to have that reflected in their businesses. So the next time you see someone successful in this model of business, appreciate them, celebrate them, because they took a lot of time to grow themselves. And I love, of course, how this also connects with John Maxwell's law of the lid. It just goes perfectly hand in hand. I don't know how many of you are familiar with that, but with John Maxwell's law of the lid, what he's simply saying is the success of your business, the effectiveness of you as an entrepreneur, all right, and the success of what you're trying to accomplish, it's reflective of your ability to lead. So if your ability to lead is here, you can't expect your business to get here because you have to grow yourself and push that lid up. And then your business right here, right, it can grow even more, but it's not going to go and it's not going to outgrow you. You have to push it up, of course, by your ability to grow yourself as a leader. So how are you working on yourself every day, right? How are you working on you as the entrepreneur, as the home-based business owner? You must work on self-development, personal development, every single day so that you can raise that lid and then as a result, raise the effectiveness and the ability to succeed as a network marketing professional. So work on this every day. Get those books, get the audio, get the video, right? Engage in visualization where you're visualizing what your future looks like. These are important habits that the wealthy and that millionaires engage in because they realize that self-development is the key to their growth and their success. So network marketing simplified. Think about these terms we talked about tonight, right? We talked about the importance of promoting. We talked about selling, right? We talked about how simple it really is because if you can sell yourself to another organization, a part of a job, you have the ability, the seeds that can be further grown and cultivated, okay? You have the ability to be able to go out and to share information about a product or a service. So when someone says, I don't think I'm a seller, that's not true. That's just not true, right? They don't want to explore. They don't want to learn. They don't want those seeds to necessarily grow. They're comfortable where they are. And so if they say no, that just means they're just disqualified. You keep moving. Keep moving. So hopefully you've gleaned some good nuggets tonight during this TKO Live Night Show, right? We spoke a little bit about network marketing, about solo or personal marketing, marketing yourself. We talked about how simplified this thing really is. And the more that you engage in the necessary practices, the activity with promoting, and you're plugging into trainings and orientations, right? The more skilled you will become and the more comfortable you might be in sharing and getting on the phone and making those phone calls. It may not necessarily feel good, but guess what that means when it doesn't feel good? It means that you have the opportunity to grow, okay? Because you can't grow in a comfortable space. You got to be uncomfortable, okay? That's where God does his work. That's where he really goes in and begins to expand you and causes you to kind of push, against the grain so that you can become, the professional that he wants you to be in that particular industry, the woman, the man that he's called you to be. So again, thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. I really, really do, for you taking a moment to listen in. If you've gleaned anything tonight, love the stream, okay? Share this out with as many people as possible. And if you're wondering, well, Lakeisha, what is it that you're plugged into? What is it that you do? For those of you who are on social media, here's what I simply do. I simply share information. I share some information about how people can make money while they sleep. I share information about how men and women can really put themselves in a position to really make $2,000 at the very least, right? Within the next 90 to 120 days, part-time. By sharing information. Exactly. Right? And so whether they want to do it or not, that's up to them. But I'm going to share it with as many people as possible. And see, this is the reason why the results speak for themselves. And I don't say this to brag, but being able to share information about the global money system, being able to help to plug in nearly about 450 people into this money system, that's how simple it is. And so you plug them in, you get them on board, you share with them what they need to do to be successful, and you allow them to take action. It's their journey as well. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for plugging in. Now, if you want to learn more about the money system that I was referencing, how you can make money while you sleep, how you can gain a couple extra $100 per month, or even $2,000 per month, even more than that, depending on what your work ethic is, I want to encourage you to get back with me or the person that may have shared this video with you tonight. Let them know that you want information. And here's the deal. Tonight, my mentor, Mr. Ty Best, he's going to be sharing, he's going to be empowering people when it comes to recruiting. He's going to talk about the science and the art of recruiting. He's going to be sharing this information by way of Facebook Live as well as via telephone. So make sure you plug in, because I'm quite sure you're going to get a notification from me or one of my other partners regarding this amazing stream that's coming up next at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is a part of what we call the Freedom Call, and the Freedom Call occurs every Wednesday at 10 o'clock. And directly after that, we have what we call a launch party, an orientation, where those of you who decide to plug into this money system, you're going to learn exactly how to get started, the steps that you need to take to be successful, to change the trajectory of your family and your ability to create and generate wealth. So again, plug in, everyone. Stay tuned for the Facebook notifications. Get back with the person that shared this with you. If it was me, of course, send me an inbox message and we'll get you rolling. We'll get you plugged in so you can begin to see some change for yourself. Freedom, as my mentor says, that's what it's all about. So thank you so much. And we're going to be back for the Leadership TKO Live night show specifically on tomorrow night. Okay, tomorrow night around about 8:30 a.m. or p.m., p.m., 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back for the next episode. So until the next time that you and I come together again, I do want to encourage you to think, to speak, and to live leadership. Good night, everyone, and God bless.